I was looking at this poll from New York Times. It's a couple months old at this point. That was talking about like American sense of doom, and it's Republican women are the most likely to report that they feel like as a nation we're on the brink of failure, and it's Democrat men who are the most likely to be like, no, everything's on the right track, sounds good. Like I think the idea that we are under cyber attack is very real to a lot of Americans, and in fact, instead of being like, oh no, that would never happen to us, they're likely to believe it.
Democrat women are?
Democrat men are the most likely to report, no, the country's on the right track, everything's fine. And Republican women are the most likely to say everything's falling apart.
Well, it makes sense because Democrat men are basically...
morons?
No, they're like the people who don't pay attention, but they'll say whatever they can to try and get laid.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Has the White House said anything about this?
I don't know. Not that I'm aware of. I know Joe Biden said that even though the Supreme Court blocked him from giving student debt, he was going to do it anyway.
Today, he said
yeah,
that was like
and then he weighed in
night.
on the Alabama frozen embryos are children decision, several days late, almost a week later. So he's just trying to distract, which also may indicate that it's a cyber attack. If they're not willing to say everything's fine, maybe it's because they cannot say that without, having to testify under oath.
I think the fact that they reported it as a cell phone outage when it was clearly affecting a bunch of other services, like why was Starlink experiencing outages at the exact same time?
Why was Facebook and LinkedIn not experiencing it?
So
That is weird. Yeah.
if it's not a cyber attack, I'm like, maybe there's a third-party networking tool or something that they all shared that broke. Sometimes it's as simple as everyone uses the same plugin, and then when it expires or something, they're like, oh crap, nobody realized that was going to happen.
A healthcare service also went down.
That they got cyber attacked. That was a cyber attack. So I'm kind of like,
that's confirmed. They were like,
yes.
this is a cyber. Yeah, this is probably all part of the same thing. I mean, I'm in the
China.
camp at this point. Like, if you think this was not a cyber attack, but they've already acknowledged half of the attack, you need to prove why you think it's not a cyber attack.
Yeah, Google. Even Google was reportedly down, and so Down Detector uses user reporting as well as their own proprietary detection methods.
Did any banks get hit?
Any what?
Banks.
Not that I'm aware of.
Do you remember, I have to look it up when it was, but there was a big communications network in Canada that went down, and it affected all kinds of cities because, anything from like public transportation that relies on Wi-Fi, it all went out all at one time, and it was down for, a significant amount of time, almost 12 hours, I think, which is a huge disruption. This was last year at one point. And they said ultimately, there was concerns that it was a cyber attack, and I think they ultimately said it was an internal error. They're kind of, vague about what happened, but it just reminds me how fragile the technology infrastructure really is, and how out of your hands it is. Like, you as an individual couldn't fix this.
It's not just,
did we have TikTok? Is TikTok on there? Because you got Facebook.
It is, but I think it's fine.
Oh, it's fine.
Really?
Okay.
Oh,
I don't see TikTok.
TikTok's fine.
And because if TikTok didn't get hit, the Chinese people did it.
That's quite a leap.
No, TikTok did.
TikTok
Oh, okay.
did.
But so comparable to other non-cell phone services, there were outages reported.
Okay.
TikTok.
Not to say that they wouldn't do it to their own companies to hide.
Right, exactly.
But also, it could have been any corporation or rogue country. Could have been a couple of kids in their bedroom with access to some ridiculous amount of code.
Right.
Like, why is Astound Broadband having outages? I mean, I guess this is unrelated because we're now past that point. But when I noticed Starlink was reporting outages, I was like, okay, that one's kind of weird. Right. Like, that's a low orbit satellite
They're
company,
not like the rest of them, yeah.
Yeah, like, why are they even on there? Is it even, where was it? We just had it pulled up. I don't know, whatever. Diablo. I think it was a cyber attack. You can see right here.
Diablo 4 went down?
Yeah, but those are unrelated. Like, at this point, anything happening now is like, it's things just go down sometimes.
So those spikes...
Look, Spectrum went down.
Are those spikes like the last 12 hours or something?
I think 24.